Hey guys, welcome back to Believe in Eagles. I'm your host, Lee Mayock, and as always, this episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. I'm still riding my high of beginner's luck, so I'll be making some more picks for Sunday's Eagles game, and I'll post them on my IG. So make sure you head over to betonline.com and make some bets with me while I'm still winning. Our special guest this week, my dad, Mike Mayock. Woo! Hi.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. How did you get it? Did you get a kick out of Charles last week?
Oh, yeah. Charles and I had a great time. Were you worried that he was going to replace you as my weekly guest? Or did you want him to?
Charles is awesome. I mean, he's one of my best friends, and I would trust him with anything. And he's really good at what he does. And I thought you guys had a good conversation.
Yeah, we had a great time. We were talking about your rapping, too.
Oh. Well, you guys should be talking about my rap skills.
Because it's so good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why people ask for the Mayock brothers at weddings.
Oh, okay. Well, looking forward to mine. Okay. Where are you? You're in Jersey now?
Yeah, I'm in a hotel room in New Jersey because I've got the Texans at the Jets tomorrow night for Westwood.
It's Halloween game.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I wonder if you're going to get to see some good tunnel fits. Like, the guys come in costume.
Huh?
The guys, how everyone does their tunnel walk?
I didn't know that was a thing till you told me last week, but whatever.
Okay, well, guess what? On Halloween, a lot of them do costumes.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to watch.
Well, I hope some of them show up as good football players.
I said it to someone yesterday. I was like, the Jets don't need to be any scarier than they are. There was a cool one, though, I saw last week. Myles Garrett, I think he's really big into Halloween. He showed up at his game in a full Terminator prosthetic mask. Like a Hollywood designer guy did an entire over the head mask for him. It had the Terminator mechanical stuff around his eye, and then the skin, and then he had a big leather jacket on and sunglasses. It looked so creepy. It was so good.
No, I think if you're as good as him, you could probably show up in any, what do you call them? Any fit you like.
Any fit. Have you ever participated in Halloween?
Well, I used to take you guys out and walk you through the neighborhood.
Did you dress up when you did that?
No, I was with the neighborhood dads drinking a beer while we walked around with you. So all the dads in the neighborhood would take the kids, and we'd walk through our neighborhood, and we'd all have the red sip glasses with a beer in it, and you guys were running in and out of houses looking for chocolate.
The red Solo cups?
Yeah.
But no, you didn't dress up as anything? Like, if I was a princess, you didn't be something related to a princess? Like what, the king? You never did that?
Why would the dad do that? I don't get that.
Like a family activity?
You were running with a bunch of kids.
Okay. Well, when you were a kid, did you ever dress up?
Every year I was a bum. I would put
to this day
black cork underneath my eyes because I didn't want to dress up. I just wanted to run around in my jeans and sweatshirt and get as much candy as I could get. And so I would do that with some of the guys.
So you cheated Halloween, basically?
No, I went and got a bunch of candy.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I don't even know.
Well, what's your favorite candy in general?
I don't know. I like Tootsie Rolls. I like a lot of the chewy stuff.
I was going to say, I think I know yours, Mike and Ike's.
No, but it's up there.
Charleston Chew?
A lot of the chewy stuff.
They're all chewy.
Is this a football podcast, or what are we doing here?
Oh my gosh. Do you ever watch Halloween movies?
No.
Do you
as you know, I'm very boringly.
I'm trying to bring a little more oomph into your life outside of football. You might like stuff. You might like different things.
Thank you. That's so nice of you.
Well, if you see any go to Halloween costumes tomorrow, will you send a picture of it to me? I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And you're doing the Halloween game. It's going to be so fun and spooky.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. I had a bunch of things going through my head, but what is that hat, by the way? That's pretty cool looking hat.
Wait, I actually am so glad that you like it because I meant to text you last week because I'm going to send you some. So they're this cool brand. It's called Melon, Melin, and they actually are made for to look good, but also they have these antimicrobial properties. I don't know exactly the science of it, shocking, but they're sweat proof, smell proof. So people have been wearing them on golf courts, when they're working out outside. And I was like, oh my God, my dad would be obsessed with these. They're so cute. There's a million different styles. Do you like this style?
Yeah, I do. That's why
I'm gonna have I have a couple that I'm gonna send to you, and I'll probably give them to you for Christmas too if you like them. But so all those ones, I feel like I always tried to steal your hats, and I could never go for the ones that you wore golfing because they'd be nasty. So these are brand new every time you wear them.
Awesome, thank you.
Isn't that sick? I know. I'm glad you said something because I totally forgot. I didn't have your address for down there.
No, that's awesome. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, isn't it cute? You wouldn't even know if I wore it running. Do you want to ask me what I'm going to be for Halloween?
Not really.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not defeating anything this year. I'm probably going to sit down and watch your Jets-Texans game on Westwood One.
There you go.
Well, listen to it on Westwood One. Okay, wait. So did you watch the Bengals-Eagles game last week?
I did.
Were you a lot happier than usually?
Well, I think I texted you during the game that I thought it was the most clean and efficient game I've seen Jalen Hurts play in 2 years. And then I watched every pass he threw, every scramble on tape. And it was fun to watch because a couple of years ago when they went to the Super Bowl, he was kind of developing into a, quote, franchise quarterback. Okay. And then last year, the whole team kind of took a step back. And what he's got to do, I think, is be able to throw the ball from the pocket efficiently, not just the RPO game, not scrambling with his legs all the time, but hang in the pocket and win in the pocket. And for a lot of these guys that come out of college as athletes, that's kind of the common denominator when you evaluate them is, are they going to be able to win games from the pocket? And for instance, like last year, when I did Caleb Williams tape in college and Jaden Daniels tape in college, and I had to put grades on those guys, I gave them both the same grade, a really high-level grade.
What grade was it?
What's that?
What grade was it?
Like a Pro Bowl level, ultimately type grade.
What would that equate to in terms of an A to F?
Well, I mean, we don't do A to F, but it would be, a 7.0 to an 8.0, a blue player.
Okay, so and you're talking about their potential.
Yeah, they're a blue player is someone who can be a Pro Bowl, all-pro type player. And I had put the same grade on them. But the point I'm trying to make is that I felt like both of them, although they're unbelievable athletes, also show the ability to beat you in the pocket. And that's what you have to do in the NFL to be a high-level quarterback. You got to be able to win games from the pocket. And if you're athletic enough to get out and around it and scramble and make things happen, that's awesome. But I thought what Jalen did last week, I mean, he was 16 for 20. He was accurate, but he recognized a bunch of things. Like a couple of times it was a 3-man rush where they drop 8 in coverage. And a lot of young quarterbacks, the clock in their head tells them they either have to throw the ball or run, but you have to recognize if they're only bringing 3 and take your time, patient, let your players work because it's zone behind. And so a couple of different times. I mean, there was one, he picked up 19 yards on a late throw to Calcaterra. And again, took his time, just squatted in the pocket, no panic. And then later in the game, 3rd and 16, he hits A.J. Brown on a 17-yard deep curl. Same thing. They brought 3, drop 8. He sat and waited for the linebacker to clear and A.J. to come in behind, and no panic. It wasn't like He was trying to get out, and he felt like it was really good. And I think the other thing he did well, again, besides from being accurate, is he gave Devontae Smith a chance to make some plays, including that big 45-yard touchdown, which was a great throw and an even better catch. And he was covered really well. But I think they've got A.J. Brown is phenomenal, but so is Devontae Smith. And I think what's happening and what needs to continue to happen is the three of them have to get on the same page, Jalen and those two guys, and he can give them opportunities to win games. And that's what the best quarterbacks do. They learn, and the best receivers, they learn what they can trust from that receiver and how to give him a chance to go make a play.
So he can, like, that means that they're just working on their trust with each other is what you're saying.
Yeah, it happens over time. And the more I've heard great quarterbacks over the year talk, the more I've bought into the trust factor. Because, for instance, Tom Brady, he's probably at the highest level of needing to trust his wideouts. Like if you run the wrong route or you run the right route at the wrong depth or you turn the wrong way, you do anything that he doesn't like, and you're probably not going to see the ball for 3 weeks because he can't trust you.
You might say that about Aaron Rodgers too.
Well, over the years, for sure. And you would. And they're both going to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But understand they've also helped develop wideouts along the way that have become great players. And a big piece of that is trust. And different receivers run routes different ways. And once, pick a name, Aaron Rodgers, once he got used to Devontae Adams and how which way he leaned on a fade route, or if he was going to throw a back shoulder, whether he could lead him away from a certain defender on a different leverage. There's all these little things, and receivers do them differently. But once quarterbacks trust them, that you're not going to throw an interception, you can give him a chance to go make a play. It's pretty cool, and that's what I loved about. Jalen gave Devontae a chance on the deep ball, but on a 3rd and 7 in the second half, he also trusted him to cross the face of a corner and make a play on a slant for 3rd and 7, a 9-yard first down they really needed. And again, if he doesn't cross the face, it's an interception. So you don't need to understand all that, but at
you
the end,
explained it. I get it. Yeah.
But the important thing is that I felt like it was his best game of the season. And even though Cincinnati didn't bring much pressure, which really surprised me, I think it's something to build
on. Did you know that Giselle is pregnant with her jiu-jitsu instructor's baby?
That's a good tag on quarterback wide receiver trust.
That's what I thought. All right, wrong audience. Did you know, though? Did you hear? Crazy.
No, I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't hear.
Okay, well, there you go. See,
there you go.
It's football-centric.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so then what about the Eagles defense? What did you see from them that you liked last week?
Well, it started out, I was a little bit nervous just because.
That long drive. The Bengals' first drive was like 2 hours long.
It really was. And they score a touchdown, and then the next time they get the ball, they kick a field goal.
Yeah.
And then the third time they get it, they miss a field goal. So they really only had 3 drives in the first half, and it was touchdown, field goal, missed field goal. I was a little nervous, even though it wasn't like a big play fest. They came out in the second half and they scored again right away. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I think they had 17. But the cool thing is, I think the Eagles shut them down at that point. They stopped them on downs. They forced 2 turnovers, 1 interception, 1 fumble. So while the Eagles offense kept scoring, the defense locked them out. And so that's what I like the most, is that I think they're starting to buy into what Vic is doing. They're getting better pressure. Some of those edge guys are playing better. Quinyon Mitchell's doing well. It was good to see. I forget if it was he who tipped the ball to
no, Isaiah Rodgers.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
It was the cutest teamwork ever. I was obsessed with that.
It was a cool play.
Yeah, it was awesome. Oh, speaking of cool plays, did you see Jalen Hurts had to wear his 2 different shoes?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I remember his shoe came out. Yeah.
A painter in Philly did a painting of the two shoes, and now it's like a thing, and it looks really cool. And Jalen retweeted it, and it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. You could file that under Giselle and Jiu-Jitsu.
I really need to get younger guests on this show so I can talk about what I want to talk about.
Pretty much.
But okay, so those are all the good things coming out of last weekend. This weekend, this Sunday coming up, the Eagles are looking to get to 6-2 with a win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are currently sitting at 2-6. What are the keys to that game, do you think?
Well, I keep going back to when you and I talked during the bye week, and they were 2-2.
Yeah.
And we talked about that schedule, how they had 4 teams there with a losing record coming up, and they needed to win at least 3, and really all 4 of them. And they've taken care of business 3 weeks in a row now. Right? And if they beat Jacksonville this week, they're 7-2 and looking pretty good. Jacksonville is 2-6, and they've basically just traded 2 of their better players before the trade deadline. They traded Roy Robertson Harris, a defensive tackle, a week or 10 days ago. And I think it was yesterday they traded their starting offensive tackle, Cam Robinson, to the Vikings, who are a contender and lost their starting left tackle. So basically, Jacksonville has said, we're going to get rid of some of our starters. We're going to get some draft picks. We're going to save some money, and we're going to start the build for next year. Now,
that was what's behind those trades?
Oh, yeah. Trade deadline's next week.
So it's just I know, I'm just saying for the Jags. I was like, what are they? I don't get what they're doing. But so they're just going to lean into rebuilding now at this point because they're out of playoff contention pretty much.
Remember, obviously, if you don't trade the player, you can't for the rest of the year. And most of the players that are traded now are in their last year of their contract. And a lot of the GMs figure, I'm probably not even going to re-sign him. So I might as well get something for him now.
Well, that's interesting, Dad. That's different because it's not something I would think about off the top of my head when I'm like seeing these trades go down.
Yeah, there's a lot of one of the most important elements is what is the remaining contract? Who's going to pay for what's left? In addition to whatever the draft pick compensation is, there's also, for instance, if you're in 2021 when we were with the Raiders, we were looking like we could be a playoff team, and I was looking to potentially make a trade before the deadline, and I was looking at one player. And it would have cost us a 3rd-round pick. And the problem I had with a flat 3, which is a lot, is even though this was a good player, he was in the last year of his contract. And even if he worked out and played well and helped us get to the playoffs, he could have gone right back into free agency and signed elsewhere next year. So basically, you're giving up a 3rd-round pick for a rental.
For like a game or two. Yeah.
For a half a season,
the
last 7 or 8 games. So there's so many different things from a GM's perspective that go into what you do and don't do at this time of year.
Do you think the Eagles are finished with their moving parts?
I think they probably are, and I think it's probably because they've played better and better each week. And so for people that are worried about their edge rushers, they're getting to the quarterback a little bit more now. Nolan Smith is coming along. Sweat has played better. They're young defensive tackles. Could you use a veteran defensive tackle? Maybe, but the young defensive tackles are playing better. He already traded and gave up a 3rd-round pick for Jahan Dotson, who has done nothing so far, basically. So, but his contract, I think, runs through 25. So they still have a chance to get something out of him. But I don't really, unless something comes really attractive, and I think Howie's as good as anybody in the business, unless something comes along that he can't, I think he's just going to say we're a good football team and we're getting better.
Okay, so then facing the Jags on Sunday, it's even kind of more of a must win against a team that's already decided to rebuild, right?
Well, now the players might not have gotten the memo in Jacksonville, but that's a hard thing. So I think it's important for the Eagles to jump on them early and not let Jacksonville in this game very long. Trevor Lawrence is their quarterback, and he's kind of had a checkered year, highly inconsistent. Played pretty well last week against the Packers. Travis Etienne, a running back, was injured, didn't play. I don't know his status. I mean, so basically,
I think he's back.
Yeah, Christian Kirk was probably their best wideout, and he got hurt. So really, what you're trying to do is not let them get their run game going. Etienne and Bigsby are two good running backs. You don't want to let them get that going. You don't want Trevor Lawrence to start feeding off that. And they lost their best wideout. So offensively, you can't let them run the football. And then defensively, I think the Eagles are just going to keep doing what they're doing on offense, which is, I almost said Charles Barkley, Saquon Barkley.
Charles Barkley could get in there. Let's go, throw him in.
I'm not sure he could run the ball though. But I mean, Saquon Barkley's just been amazing. He's been awesome. We already talked about how I think their pass game's developing. I thought the left tackle, Fred Johnson, played well last week. And Steen played right guard. So they had two backups in that offensive line, and Jalen barely got touched. So I would hope that the Eagles offensively are able to move the football, don't turn it over, don't let the Jaguars think they got a real game going, and try and put them away early.
I think I saw that the Jags pass defense was ranked number 31 in the league right now. So hopefully Jalen, Devontae, and AJ Brown can get their things going again, practice on that, relationships and progress that.
Yeah, I think they could. And I mean, the Jags gave up 160 some yards rushing last week to Green Bay. Our old buddy Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs had some moves that I saw, some nasty moves.
He's a bad dude.
Yeah,
he's a bad dude. He's really good. He's a really good guy.
Did you get hyped up watching him? Because I did.
I always do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love Josh, and it's fun watching him play well.
Yeah. So imagine what Saquon could do against the Jags.
Well, all I'm saying is that Green Bay put 30 on them last week. Now, it was a tight game. They only won 30-27. But you would hope that the Eagles continue to progress, don't get fat and happy, and come out ready to compete and have another good game.
Do you remember Willy Wonka, the movie? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
Trevor, I guess the Jags had their Halloween party last night. Trevor Lawrence was Willy Wonka, and his pregnant wife was that chunky brat that turned into like a blue person. Do you remember that? She was like a little brat, and she ate the wrong thing that she wasn't supposed to eat, and then she turned into this like blue plum, and he was Willy Wonka. It was really cute.
I got nothing.
In case you wanted a costume idea for yourself.
I got nothing.
Are you just gonna wear normal clothes to the game tomorrow? That's so boring.
Lee, I've worn normal clothes on Thanksgiving just about every year of my life.
It's not Thanksgiving, it's Halloween.
I mean, Halloween. I'm going to work tomorrow night.
Okay.
I got my work fit going.
Your work fit? What is it gonna look like? Are you gonna do a tunnel walk for us?
No.
Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with me. I will let you get back to work. I know you have a work tomorrow, not festive Halloween. Please send me any good fits that you see. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to talk about the Jets game, or are you good?
I've done a lot of work on it. I'm ready to go. And Houston's 6-2. I'm looking forward to seeing C.J. Stroud, and he's the only quarterback in that class last year that really is even playing. Now, Richardson got benched. And
wait, what do you think about that?
About Richardson?
Yeah, because I was really shocked about the whole tapping out because you're tired at 3rd and goal as a quarterback of an NFL team, right? Like, that shocked me. And I also was like, I really hope this isn't the trend we're going to see in like the younger guys, thinking that that's okay. So I was like, okay, if they're making a statement benching him for that, I kind of get it. But then also turns out he also was not playing that well either. So the two things compounded to me. It did make sense when you do have a Joe Flacco to utilize. But what do you think? What were you thinking? At first, actually, what did you think when you saw him tap out?
I was watching the game live, and I've watched the tape because obviously I have Houston tomorrow, and that was who Indy was playing on Sunday. So when I saw him tap out, I assumed he was hurt and was telling the bench, not that he was tired. I've never, ever in my life seen a quarterback tap out because they were tired. Not a good message.
Imagine if Pop saw that.
Oh, I mean, trust me.
Pop would have had some choice words for Anthony Richardson if he said he was tired.
Now, again, I watched the tape. The play before that, he had run about 60 yards, including throwing off a
defender,
320-pound defensive tackle off his back, and he had run. So I understand that he was tired.
Yeah,
but it's not a message you want a team leader sending. I've never seen a quarterback do it. I don't think that's why he's getting benched. He was 10 for 32 yesterday, which is what I mean. He's Sunday.
Are you okay? You're getting dates wrong. You're getting holidays wrong. Are you okay?
I'm good. I just watched a lot of tape this week. I'm tired.
Some electrolytes. Oh, this is what would happen. Remember when you would be like in draft mode and the only things that would stick in your brain were draft numbers and names, and we couldn't talk to you about anything else. It would just go.
Pretty much.
Kind of how you're acting right now.
But to your point about Richardson, he has not played well. When he was in college, he was only a one-year starter. So here's this big, huge, talented kid that only played 1 year in college, got hurt last year, comes out this year and is getting benched. What he needs more than anything for his development are reps. But if you put yourself in the Colts' shoes, if you're Chris Ballard, the GM, or Shane Steichen, the head coach, you're going, wait a minute, we're 4-4. Okay, if we win 5 or 6 games of our last 9, we're in the playoffs. And let's be really blunt here. Joe Flacco gives us a better chance today than that kid does. Now, it's hard because organizationally, you want to develop the kid, and you're going to come back next year, and he's going to still be where he is. But, man, you're in a dogfight trying to get to the playoffs. So that's a hard deal. This kid needs reps more than any other quarterback I've seen this year, but he's not going to get them right now. And
do you agree with that, with how they're handling this, or what do you think?
I do. It gives them their best chance to go to the playoffs and compete, and that's what it's all about.
Okay. Back to the Eagles really quick. What is your prediction for this weekend's game?
I think they ought to win a game. I think, and I hope they do it. Like they did last week, put the team away and get ready. I think they've got a couple division games coming up after that, like maybe Washington and Dallas, or Dallas and Washington, whatever order. So they need to put this game away and get to 7-2 and get ready to start playing a lot of games in division. And it's like Belichick always talked about. You get a little bit better each week, every day. By the time you get into December, that's when the real the top teams are up there competing, and you're going to figure out who's going to be in the playoffs in the Super Bowl, and that's exciting.
Just got to stack those good days, right, Dad?
Stack days, baby.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. Also, can you see these? Do you see how cute my nails are? They're little mummies.
They're what?
It's a mummy.
They just look
little
white.
Eyes.
Oh,
no. Okay. But this guy, the wrapped mummy. That's so cute.
So cute.